Tell me. Tell me. Oh, speaking of Apex, they just released a new character thing. Pretty cool. What's always good? Oh yeah, for sure. I got to see what's his name, Octane, what he actually looks like. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that's the way, as they say. I feel like I have cookie butter all over my face. No, I had cookie butter, but yeah, I was telling Chris, hello everybody, and welcome to the LPF show, episode number 62. Today is always Tuesday, as is same day we do every show, LPF show.
It never changes.
Anyways, uh, today we're gonna be talking about Fallout 5 being pre-confirmed, as I called it, because it's not even in development yet. It's just being confirmed. Starfield thoughts. We're gonna see what the gentlemen here think about what they saw on Starfield, and then Pokemon without multiplayer battles, which I found very intriguing. So yeah, uh, let's get into that. But before we do that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. No, before we do that, let's introduce our co-host. I skipped ahead here. Whoever made this doc is an idiot. Um, let's go ahead and introduce our two co-hosts. We'll start off with Alan. How you been? What have you been watching? What have you been playing, sir?
Hello, everyone. I've been good. I've been playing games, which is good. I've been playing some Dead by Daylight with the homies, which has been really fun because I've always wanted to get into that game, and now I'm finally into it. I've been playing with Shelby and and Cassie and them, so that's been a lot of fun. I've also been playing
Uh,
Tiny. What? Can you
I'm
hear me?
assuming Chris's internet went out.
No, he's
No,
back. I can see him.
I'm here. It's just
I don't know if we're actually still live
we
or
are.
not.
Your picks.
Are we
Can you
live?
hear us?
Andy, can you hear us?
There.
Can you hear us?
Oh, yep.
It's not
Could you
mine.
not hear us before?
It wasn't.
Technical difficulties. You see, this is
Who?
what happens when you do a live show.
Who? Wait. Who? What happened? Was it you, Chris? Or was it
I
me?
exited out of the big screen just to turn you down a little bit, but you were pixelated for a second. But I had Alan this whole time.
Okay, well,
Oh wow,
I'll
that's
go
weird.
back and say what I was saying. Yeah, so I've been playing Dead by Daylight. I've also been playing some Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which has been amazing. Shout out to Allie, who I've been playing with. Chris, I know has the game, so I'm gonna wait for him to. I'm not gonna wait for him, but he's gonna have to level up so he can play with us. It's been really fun. I like the take that they took on this game. It's very much fantasy based, so it's very like RPG, very Dungeons and Dragons like storyline stuff. So like the characters are very fantasy based. Like they have names like Graveborn and Berserker and stuff like that. You actually don't travel the same way you do in other Borderlands title games. You actually travel through like it's like you're on a board, like a playing board, and then you travel that way. Your character is like huge. He has like this big head. But also, I was telling Chris before, like if you go through grass and stuff like that, they start random encounters and you can get loot that way and stuff like that. So they really honed into the RPG Dungeons of Dragons element of games, which I think is a really fun take on Borderlands because you still get all the Borderlands combat, comedy, and all that stuff. So the game has been really, really enjoyable. I've played it. I don't know, maybe about 3 hours now, and I can say that I'm really into it, and I'm really plan on beating this game. So I'm going to beat this game, and then I've also been playing yet one of Yendi's favorites, 2D scrollers, platform styles. It's a kung fu one called Legend of Tianding, which has been really good. Also, Yendi would hate it because it's a 2D scrolling game, but the combat system's amazing. The fighting in it is really good, and it's really my style of game. So those is what I've been playing. As far as watching, just the normal stuff that's been coming out. The Boys, obviously, The Boys and Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan, and that's all I've been watching. And then I saw Jurassic World on Sunday, the new one.
Did you
which
like
was
it?
an interesting one.
Okay. That's all you had
I
to
didn't
say.
hate
No,
it.
that's
I
all
didn't.
you
Yeah,
said.
I didn't
Interesting.
hate it. It was an interesting one. I mean, I didn't like the second one, so I'm gonna go in saying that. If I mean the second one, I thought. I mean, and by the second one, I mean the second of the new trilogy. I thought it was, kind of like and I felt like it should have stopped before that. So this one, it does a lot of fun nostalgia and some things that you'll be like, oh, that's cool. But I think the action scenes in it were really good, but the story itself is kind of like,
I heard
But
Chris. I heard Chris Pratt uses the Force a lot.
I mean, there's some there's some force wielding going on in there now that you mention it. But yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't go out and watch it, like pay for it unless you have like AMC A list and then you get to watch your movies already. I'd probably wait for DVD or Blu-ray on this one or streaming services. But that's it for me. That's what I've been doing.
Nice.
Question for you guys: do you guys want to become famous by followers,
I
primes,
was
and
just
viewers
reading
on-
that.
Yes, click on it
God.
and put your credit card
Let's
information in
make
there.
him a mod. Go ahead, give him mod status.
If you are on Twitch, if you guys could delete that because I can't do it from.
Free stream?
Yeah, can't do that. Question for you though: we talked about it at work, and I heard it over a podcast. So say they want to make more movies, more Jurassic World movies,
They need to not.
but the next one would be Jurassic Planet, and then it would be dinosaurs, but only a few humans. Would you watch it?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't get. There's only so much you can do with those. Like what would you do? What would the story be? Like
That
just we're following
took
some
over.
random dinosaur.
they took over, and there's only
Okay,
a
but-
couple
but-
people left.
What's your dilemma?
What do you mean?
Planet of the Apes, but with
With dinosaurs?
No, no, no,
Dinosaurs?
no, no,
Yeah.
no. Planet of the Apes had a legit story. I'm saying, what is the point
the
of
dinosaurs
dinosaurs?
are sentient. They grew thumbs.
Oh gosh,
And they
Yeah,
start
like I said,
talking.
there's no issue or conflict there. Like they're obviously gonna win. If there's-
Right?
They're already winning. So,
Anyway.
I don't
Yep.
know. Yeah, I don't. I think they need to stop with the Jurassic franchise. It literally went all downhill after Jurassic Park, the first one. Like everyone has just gradually gotten worse. So yeah, I think we're done with Jurassic Park. I think it did really well as far as box office goes, but I think we're done. I'm done with Jurassic Park.
Oh, Chris, what have you been up to? How you been? What are you watching? What are you playing?
I've been crazy busy lately, so a little bit overwhelmed with projects at work and stuff like that.
You're doing that orgasm stuff, right?
What?
What's that show called? Orgasmic?
Anyway,
Fantastic? Sorry, go ahead.
you're way out of the ballpark for me, man. I know you're trying to make fun of Phantasmic, but I'm not even there.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I've been busy, so if you guys see, it's just a heads up for all our debrief fans. If I'm not there, don't think I'm not watching the shows. I am watching the shows. It's just hard for me to.
You don't care about me.
Don't even pull that. It was a very hard decision, but just for the next couple, I'm gonna try to jump in and out.
I'm gonna shame him.
I'm gonna jump in and out when I can, but as of right now, I think it's best for me to like just take a small step back, complete 4th of July, and then come back into this all strong and stuff. But everything's coming out, man. So I've been playing. I started Death Stranding today, which is free if you have PlayStation Premium, which I got it for not a year, just shy of a year. They upgraded me, so I didn't have to pay it. So that was nice. And that game is awesome. I really like it. It's very I guess the gameplay is a little bit common because everybody's like, oh, walking simulator. Yes, but the beginning is definitely like, I can see why everybody wants Kojima to make a movie, because the beginning of the game is a movie, just like Metal Gear 5, I think it was.
4 and 5. No, 4 was
like the
Literal-
beginning is just
legit
like
movie.
ridiculously long
Well,
and before you start
or
playing.
legit.
So it's kind of like that. You're getting the story and everything, and I've been loving every minute of it. Um, yeah. So I've been playing that. I also started playing. I'm looking at Resident Evil 2. About to
The
start
remake?
playing that. Yeah, the remake. And as for watching, been watching The Boys, Obi-Wan. What's it called? Miss Marvel. And the other night, me and the wife watched Hustle, Adam Sandler's movie, which we really enjoyed. So yeah, but other than that, I just been here waiting for Yenny to figure out his Valorant issue so we can go get destroyed together.
Don't play that. Don't worry, it's coming to Xbox soon. You can play it on there.
It's not going to
coming
Xbox. It's going to Game Pass. And you get all the agents and all that stuff like that. But yeah,
That's the new Xbox. What do you mean? It's called Xbox Game Pass.
Actually, that's a really good deal what they did there with
Yeah, it is.
Riot and unlocked everything for everybody
I
because
know.
they're even talking about it in the company Slack.
Yeah.
They're all like going nuts in it. I'm like, oh, this is a big deal, huh? But yeah, as for me watching, not really anything new. Still watching Dark. I think getting towards the end of it, it's getting to the point where if I don't get closure soon, I'm just gonna stop before I finish the season because it's just one of those shows. It kind of reminds me of Lost in a bit. They would just give you the runaround. You know, we finally got a pretty big plot point last night, which is good. But I feel like it's dragging on just a little bit too long. If the season was cut in half, it'd be perfect if they could resolve everything. I haven't really watched any more of The Boys. I think I stopped at episode 2. The only time we watch TV is when we go to bed, and most of the time we get through one episode and we both just pass the fuck out. So we don't want to put on something like The Boys or something like that and fall asleep during it.
so you
We
put
hate
on
going
failed
back.
you put on failed movies and then complain about them later.
No, those are planned. Those are planned. Those are
said those were
before we
date
go to
night.
bed.
So
Yeah.
he watches that. He watches those bad movies with full intent of
Well,
watching a bad movie.
We don't know they're bad movies.
And then he comes on here and is like, I don't have time to be on the debrief. What am I supposed to do?
That's right. I'd rather be just doing something I enjoy. Yes, that's right. Life is too short. The last movie wasn't terrible. It's just,
What you
I
watch
wish
again?
it was on Netflix.
Oh, The Lost City, right?
Lost City. Yeah. It was okay. It was okay.
I still gotta
The
watch
two before
Uncharted.
that-
Uncharted is a movie
Me
I gotta
too.
watch.
The
God.
two before that were trash. But playing Call of Duty. I attempted Valorant. There's something with I think it's my motherboard BIOS.
It's a sign. It's a sign. Just don't play it.
It really is. It truly, really is. But I've really gotten that itch lately because,
All the
my team's
announcements.
still undefeated, and they're
Never
just
lost.
killing it, and I can't wait. We're making a good run at it. But I did download Fallout 4 again, but didn't start it. That game with the HD texture pack is over 100 gig.
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah.
A big game.
I might jump into that, just do like a role playing run.
I almost this close because I was going through the library of the PlayStation Premium stuff. I was this close to downloading New Vegas again. I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna make myself disappointed. I'm not gonna do it. Don't touch it.
Why? Because of the graphics?
Yeah, because I feel like with even though I've been having fun, which is another point why I think I almost said Until Dawn, but Death Stranding looks so beautiful, is because I've been playing a lot of retro games. I just beat Jak 3. I'm playing Sly Cooper right now, so seeing that was a huge breath of fresh air. I was just like, whoa, this looks so crisp and everything like that. And then as I was playing it, I was like, oh, I have been playing a lot of older games lately. So, but with Fallout games, I feel like when you go back, it's a little bit harder because of the engine in a way. So those games to me feel like they get dated very quickly, unfortunately. So
that's probably what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start it up, and
I think 4 will be okay. Four
Good
is
though. Especially with
Yeah.
HD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that engine still has some jankiness to it, which that'll
Yeah,
turn me off quick. But
but
we'll see.
that's any Bethesda game.
I I plan to mod it just to my liking to do like very hardcore survival style thing. Are there mods that just finish the story for you, unlock everything? Because I already beat it. I don't want to go through all that. I just want to like.
No.
I literally did not explore half the map when I finished that game
Yeah,
last time, and I
because
was
that's what
pissed.
happens with most of those games.
But that's what happened was I pushed myself to focus only on the main story, and that's the only reason I didn't explore the rest of the world. But I want to go back.
I've been wanting to
Um,
go back to Outer Worlds also, but that's on the back
Oh,
burner
that
right now.
game's
That's
so
like in the
good.
backpack.
yeah,
Just to do side
I,
quests and stuff like that, not to. And I got to play the DLCs too. I never played the DLCs.
I still have Outer Wilds installed that I haven't even
I
started up
heard
yet.
so that game made me a little sick because of the flying. How it was it was kind of hard to control the ship. But I heard the DLC, right? The DLC itself could be a game of the year contender. So I heard the DLC was very very good because it's a whole nother story and it's a completely everybody says it's a completely different game. So I want to try that out for sure.
And it's not winning game.
Well, not
Eventually, I'll
this.
start up
Yeah,
that game.
it was last year, but Black Magic also said I played Siphon Filter yesterday and almost threw up.
Oh my gosh. What a game though.
Siphon
Oh,
Filter?
Siphon Filter?
I've
Oh,
never. Hold on.
Threw up why?
that
Because
was
of the graphics, or
yeah. I mean, those
oh,
graphics are terrible, but 989 Studios, this was supposed to be it was
Yeah. Okay, I
it
saw
came
this
out
on the
around
list.
the same time as Metal Gear did. And this was supposed to be like their version of Metal Gear, but it was a little bit more arcadish. But oh, that game was so
It's
good.
on the
I'd play it.
PlayStation thing. Also,
I'd play
what's
it.
that game you got? I'm sure Alan will know what I'm talking about. What's that game? It's a city, right? You're monsters. You could be a robot, but like
Rampage?
no, not Rampage, not Rampage. Oh, but the
Maybe
graphics
you're
are
a
horrible.
robot.
What is it?
Go ahead, keep
It's
keep
so
describing
it's
the
just
game.
a city, right? And Yendi could pick he could be a monster or whatever he wants to be, and I could be a mech or whatever I want to
Mhm.
be. And you're destroying like basically the level field is it's almost like a mini open world, kind of like what say again?
Mech Assault?
No, damn it,
Sounds like Rampage.
it's not Rampage. I
Yeah,
promise you,
that's what it sounds
it's like battle something. Dang, hold on.
Don't know that one.
I'll figure it out while you guys are doing your thing. But yeah, Black Magic said beautiful game, but the graphics are horrible. You got to take what you get. I did try to play. I downloaded Resident Evil, the first one, and I did not know they did not remaster it at all.
What, director's cut?
Yeah, I tried to play the director's cut, and I was like, as soon as I started it up, I was like, I cannot go all the way through this. So I read this.
I do not have that feeling.
Yeah,
I can play any old school game.
not that
Any
one.
game that's old, I can play. The only problem that I have with some games is legit like mechanic issues, not like graphical issues. Like now, if I play a game and like I can tell the mechanics of the game were bad, because Resident Evil 1, the mechanics of that game and old school Resident Evil 2, like the mechanics are terrible because the camera is terrible, the way you shoot in that game is terrible, all of it's bad. But the graphics don't bother me.
You saw?
Nice.
Did you guys see also on the PlayStation? People were trying to play like Tekken 2, and it was like $9,000 on the PlayStation Store.
What?
It was
9,000.
It was like 9,000. I think it was like $9,999. It was like a $10,000 game.
Was it like not supposed to be
It
released?
was nuts. No, it's just it was a mess. It was a mistake, which Sony's been
Wow.
doing a lot lately because yeah, that
So-
Last
Sony
of
fans
Us
be
leak.
like, oh, what a deal!
That
Oh,
Last of
no.
Us leak was did not go over well with that team. So yeah,
Speaking of Last of Us leak, Todd Howard confirms Fallout 5 is coming after Elder Scrolls 6. This is by Joe Screbbles over at IGN.com. Quote, I wish they came out faster. I really do. We're trying as hard as we can. Todd Howard has confirmed that to IGN that Fallout 5 will be Bethesda Studios' next game after the Elder Scrolls 6, which itself will follow on from 2023's Starfield. Speaking to IGN about last weekend's Starfield gameplay revealed at the Xbox Bethesda showcase, Howard briefly delved into what's next for his studio once the new IP is out of the door. Quote, yes, The Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production, and we're going to be doing Fallout 5 after that, so our slate's pretty full going forward for a while. We have some other projects that we look at from time to time as well. What a segue, that's right. Howard has told IGN previously that the studio has an idea for Fallout 5 in place, saying, quote, Fallout's really part of our DNA here. We've worked with other developers from time to time. I can't say what's going to happen. We have a one-pager on Fallout 5, what we want to do. Unquote. However, Howard hadn't confirmed that it would definitely be on the way after the Elder Scrolls 6. Of course, at Bethesda's current pace of production, it will still likely be many years before we see what Fallout 5 actually is. In today's interview, Howard confirmed that work started on Starfield in late 2015, meaning it will be over 7 years from start to finish when the game arrives. The last mainline Elder Scrolls game, Skyrim, arrived in 2011, and with the sequel still in pre-production, we likely have years to go before we see that one too. We learned previously that Elder Scrolls 6 was pushed back because the team wanted to make Starfield first. Dumb. Howard acknowledged the long waits for his fan-favorite games, implying he's as frustrated as those waiting to play them. Quote, they do take a while. I wish they came out faster. I really do. We're trying as hard as we can, but we want to make them. We want them to be as best as they can be for everybody. Unquote. Fallout 4 was released in 2015, followed by less beloved multiplayer spin-off Fallout 76. Starfield is finally feeling close after many years in development. And the first gameplay reveal showed off combat, introduced customization, and even hinted at a visit to Earth and our solar system. Elder Scrolls 6 was announced in 2018, but we know very little about it, despite some hints in the original teaser. What we can guess is that it will be an Xbox exclusive after comments from head of Xbox Phil Spencer. Okay, so I don't know why he even said anything about Fallout. Like, he didn't have to, because they're not even thinking about it. They got that one pager and they probably haven't touched it in a while. So, but let's just go ahead and talk about it anyways. My first question is, what are your top 3 wish list items or features for Fallout 5, Chris?
War of the Monsters is the name of that game that I'm talking about.
Okay.
War of the Monsters, yeah. Sorry, repeat the question one more time.
Fallout 5, what are your top 3 wish list items or features?
Hearsay.
What do you want to see?
No, I'm kidding. What I want to see? Man, what do I want to see? I want a game. I want to I mean, it would make no sense to be over there, but I'd like a Fallout game outside of the U.S. Like traveling wise. I don't know why, but I really want to.
That's my next question. You jumped ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead and answer that one first. Where do you want the setting to be?
Items and features. Never mind. I see what I did. Post-apocalyptic Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also
is there
I feel
a game that has that?
Nothing yet. Like nothing's set in Tokyo except for yeah.
But is there any Asian country that's post-apocalyptic?
I don't think so. I don't know if we're.
I think it's always U.S. and like Russia, right?
I don't know where Ghostfire is set. I don't know.
But Russia's such an easy thing to do because it's like we don't know what's going on there. So like it's easy to be like they're running experiments and nobody knows. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh wait, no, never mind. North Korea? Is there one in North Korea? No, right? No, that's what's that game where North Korea invades US? What is that called?
North Korea.
It's a shooter, FPS, yeah. Shoot.
Don't know
what it's called.
It's a shooter. Shoot.
So you say Tokyo, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as for feet, go ahead.
Yeah, the top 3 wish list items or
so features. As for features, does taking a feature out count?
Sure.
The building, the town or whatever, take that out. I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay. I fell in love with Fallout 3 of like getting out of that vault and then like immediately finding the first town and going through it. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I don't want to build my own Salvation. That's
I
why.
just think with that they should just make it optional. Like the
Yeah.
problem with the thing that I didn't like about Fallout 4 was that there was situations where you had to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like the option to do it is better than having it be part of what you need to do to advance in the story. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I'm fine with the Starfield portion of it, but anyway, we'll get to that. Items. I'd like more crazy items. What was it? I mean, I know they're always gonna
Well,
put some.
okay. I'm not talking about like specifically items like in the game. I'm talking about like features, like
Like
mechanics, stuff like
yeah.
that.
Man, mechanics.
That kind
Freaking for not my my suit to die so quickly.
Oh yeah,
I
power
felt
suit.
yeah,
Okay.
I felt like I was rarely in one. I sit in 4. Whenever they introduced like, yeah, you got to get a battery for this thing. I was like, no. And then like I'd find one out in the wild and it'd die before I even got to before I could get it to my settlement. Like
Wasn't like that if you're an engineer.
There's so many perks in that game. It was insane.
Yep.
yeah.
Um,
And then the ability to do I want vehicles? I kind of want vehicles, but also I kind of want like a little boost on my suit,
Mount?
like a little mount would be good. Yeah,
Pop
mount.
like a horse.
I'll
Yeah,
do that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then finally, what is your expected release date?
We will have the PlayStation
7.
whatever. Well, we'll be on the next console
So
generation.
I don't know which article it was, but it said that these games is probably like 10 years off, at least. So do you think we'll see it in 2032?
If the world
That's crazy.
if the world
That's
doesn't end
crazy.
first, yeah.
That sounds nuts.
I mean,
2032.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird. The fact that they're saying like, what was it? Elder Scrolls. They're saying Elder Scrolls is that far
In
out too.
pre-production.
In pre-production, that's ridiculous, man.
Well, you know what? I bet you they're much further along now.
Than what they say.
Starfield
I think he
is,
doesn't
yeah.
want because I feel like he likes the factor of like he likes saying it comes out this year, like it comes out
Probably.
in then a couple months. So it could be a lot closer than we think. I think Fallout 5 is way out there,
Yeah.
like they say. But yes, for Elder Scrolls, I think it's a lot closer than we think.
I think 2026 for Elder Scrolls. Fallout, I could see close to 2030, 2031.
When do you think we get the title? Like when do you think we get the logo?
Oh, 2025 maybe.
Well,
We'll
do
get
you
a,
think?
we'll get a tease?
Do you think that they're gonna take so much time on this game because that Vegas remaster to fill in that void?
You know what's gonna happen is since Starfield's already Fallout anyways, they're just gonna reskin Starfield, and that's gonna be the new Fallout. Star Fallout 45.
Spoilers, everybody. Yendy's ready to shit on Starfield.
For no reason.
Okay, so for my, we'll go over to you after Alan, but my top 3 wish list option features. One is a survival mode where they limit you with what you can carry, or they introduce weapon degradation. Did they have that before? No, right? Did your weapons break? don't
No,
remember.
not your. No.
I don't think anything
Okay.
broke.
weapons
You
don't
could,
break.
yeah, they done break.
So, oh, look who it is. Look who's in chat. Anna Maria 410.
Okay.
Hey, Anna Maria 410. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you here today. So yeah, survival is one of my features, and then I actually also want to eliminate the whole base building unless they expand it dramatically and introduce like a pretty good system where it's procedurally generated. Hello, Miss Candy. And then for my third, I don't know. I guess there's
Like
just
if they
two.
do base building, right? Say you do have to do it, right? Just don't make it so detail. Like today, I tried that game, Evil Genius. or whatever too. Like you're an evil genius and you're trying to take over the world. I was like, this is cool. You start your base, you get minions, and you're building. But it got so like as the game grew and I could start leaving the base to start taking over the world, it got like the details got so small, like it very 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 small that I was just like, this is way too much to keep track of. Like to be send an agent out to do this, come back and build my base. And I feel like Fallout does the same thing. It's just like there's too much, and then I'm not gonna want to.
The settlements are too small. That's what I hated. I felt restricted.
Mm.
Anna 410 says, I have some really scientific information to tell you all. Go ahead, Mrs. Anna 410. We are waiting. Well, as far as the setting for me, I think Caribbean. That'd be cool. Anna 410 says, you know when you're in an empty room and you hear a ton of reverb when you talk? Yes.
Hence the panels behind me.
She's probably typing like this, like a grandma.
Do you already hear?
Where
her?
Do you already hear? Where the hell is the H?
She's laughing at her joke. Is what
do you hear her laughing right now? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You will never hear that if you put a pigeon in an empty room. Why is that? Know why?
Oh, it's a long joke.
Why?
It's a long
That's
joke.
not how the joke goes. Because acoustics. You know, the funny thing is I knew this joke was coming, but it's just so good.
That's a good
and yeah, she is laughing in the background.
Yeah, of course she is. Of course.
Yeah, laugh it up.
I did like that one though. I'm not gonna lie. I won't lie to you. I don't like that one.
Okay, I said setting would be Caribbean, so it'd be Fallout / Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's go. I want to see it happen.
So you could get like post-apocalyptic pirates.
Pirate ships.
Like the ships made out of like yeah, the telescope, right? Like that classic cartoon, and they use a soda bottle, and they're like, trying to.
I mean, I was joking about that setting, but the more I think about it now, the more it's growing on me. It would definitely be quite a departure, but like post-apocalyptic paradise, I think would be pretty cool. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like that.
They should just have BioShock and Fallout meet, and then you should be able to go underwater and then see.
But Dead Island.
What?
I think your mic cut out.
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, say that again because your mic cut out.
But Dead Island's not super into the future, right? And it's just zombies.
No, yeah, but it's like it is apocalyptic, like zombie apocalyptic.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess I would say they're both different in my eyes. The Fallout kind of thing, and then,
in my mind's
the expected release date, I think I said 2031 or something like that. Alan, top 3 setting, release date.
I'm with you on their own survival mode, not like a modded survival mode. I think they should do one that is very intricate and as legit built mode, so that like they kind of build the game around that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you play survival mode, you have to like, certain areas to sleep, drink water, do all that stuff, because it's really cool in a post-apocalyptic world to do that, because like you would have to make your own wells, like things like that. And then I think that would be really cool. Like I said, I would like if they made the building optional and not part of the story, unless you needed to, unless you want to do it, because like doing the whole settlement thing, it's cool the first time, but then when you have to make sure people are getting fed while I'm trying to fight a death claw, I'm not here for that.
I hated that.
You know what I mean?
So
like
much.
I'm just like, people talk about running out of food and raiders coming to the place. Like, I don't want to deal with that when I'm fighting for my life out there. So that's just me. So I'd be okay if they made it optional. If you want to do that stuff, go ahead and do it. But for me, I would be okay if it was separated from the story. I would be okay with that. And then I would like to have three people parties, because I feel like you miss a lot of dialogue, and I liked that Outer Worlds did this, where basically you can have more than one person, because now you open up new dialogue and stuff like that, to not just have one person as your companion. So I really like what Outer Worlds did with that, and how you could talk to two different people and have two different kind of point of views from how these people, everyone views certain situations, and then give their own opinion. So I would like Fallout to add that situation to it too. So what are you guys laughing about?
New hairstyle. It's
Black
just me
Magic
without a
said,
hat on.
side note, my wife says she likes Yendi's new hairstyle. Don't gas him up like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just,
Check it out.
oh God,
You like that? Huh?
no,
Huh?
no,
That's what happens when I don't wear a hat. Get a haircut in
no,
2-3 months.
no. But
Yeah. Sorry.
yes,
Go ahead.
that's what I would like. Just add a little bit more people to the party, maybe one more person, just so you could have that different interaction and different opinions on, whether you should do something or not. Because like I said, Outer Worlds did a really good job at making you feel like, some people will be like, hey, I don't think we should do this, or hey, we should do this, or I kind of want that kind of interaction with the two other people being able to be added to your party. As far as location, I think I'm dying for somewhere in Europe, like anywhere in Europe, England, Italy, Spain, any of those places. I think having another, like having, we haven't seen that in Fallout, where they're always in the States. They're always either going to, like, somewhere east, and it's usually been all east, besides Vegas. New Vegas was the only one that wasn't like on the East Coast, but because it was Boston, and I forgot where was four at.
Or
Storm,
Boston.
4 was Boston.
four is Boston.
Where's
What's three?
76?
I don't know.
3 is
76.
Philadelphia, I think, or
See?
Pennsylvania
So,
somewhere.
East Coast. Yeah, because I know you go to, and then because three had the DLC of the Pit, which is Pittsburgh.
I
So
thought
it was,
3 was also California.
but was it?
No?
I don't think so. I'm on it. I already pulled it up.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it here.
Vegas, I feel like there was so much to do, man. It was so cool.
But there was a lot to do. I feel like there's always so much to do in any of them. Yeah. So this is Washington D.C. is Fallout 3.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes sense because DC, and then they had the pit. The pit.
Yeah, I wonder why they keep picking the East Coast. Is it just
It's
because they're in
all
the East
been-
Coast?
I don't know, but I feel like it's all been East Coast like places besides the earlier ones, because I know
So-
Fallout 1 was Southern California, and then Fallout 2, I believe, I don't remember.
But Fallout 1 was not. Was it Bethesda?
Yeah, Fallout 1 was Bethesda.
I thought
Fallout
they bought
1,
it.
let me see. I can double check. But
Yeah.
that
Also-
was California.
I also had a side question for you guys. Would you guys want to follow a game of like, so usually, you start off
You're
in the
right,
vault, things blow up, and then you come out, years later you come out and some stuff has already kind of developed. Would you guys want to see like day one of people getting out of the vault? If that makes sense. Like basically the start of like people are finally starting to come out.
Like, what would be the NPCs eventually?
Yeah, I guess. Because always you come out and the city's already developed, like there's establishments and stuff like that. You've missed a lot. So I'm saying like from the start. But also I feel like it'd be very empty.
Yeah, there wouldn't be much to do, I feel like, unless you have an active role in
In
making
building the
these
city.
cities, which would be cool. But would that be a city sim at that point?
That's what I was about to say. Fallout City Sim.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
I think that would be a cool idea.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Man.
I don't want that, because by the time you want,
I don't want that.
yeah, because the thing is, it sounds cool and all until you don't have a story, and then you're like, yeah, I wish I was not deciding where to put this next civilization.
I mean, I guess in my eyes it would be like a spin-off, just specifically a city
you can
builder.
play Fallout Shelter if you want to do that.
No, more like City Skyline. I was thinking,
You
kind of thing.
you could go do that. So.
I played
Yeah.
Fallout
Main
Shelter.
Fallout games need to have a good story, which is what another addition I was gonna say is, make sure that this Fallout 5 story is better than 4, because I lost interest in the Fallout 4 story very quickly.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason why I pushed through it, because I was starting to be like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. So I think they should definitely make that a little bit better, would be my thing. And then location, like I said, somewhere in Europe. And and as far as the date goes, I don't think it's gonna be as crazy as we think they are. They usually do take their time to make these games, but I mean the gap between Fallout 3 and 4 was 6 years. So if we add what another, I do agree with Chris where I do think we get the remaster to why did you just get hit with a solar beam? But but
Whoa!
I do think in between that they if we go by what they did with Fallout 3 and 4, right? Fallout New Vegas came out in between 3 and 4 because it came out in 2010. So I think if they follow that same model, we've already got early talks about Vegas or whatever this new Vegas thing is going to be. I think if it comes out in between, and then maybe if we get what it's 2022, so that's 5 years. So obviously I'll give it the 6, like we're like because it always takes longer in between because it always adds in years. But even though the gap between 2 and 3 was 10 years, you know what I mean. So I think we might get something around there, right?
I'll change
So
my answer
if
to I think it's gonna be one of those games that's like, it comes out the tail end of the PS5, but and we're gonna have to do an upgraded version to the 6. I'll change it to that.
I think
But anyway,
I think yeah. So what? So right now we're at what 5 years, 6. We're at 7 years. So I
Fallout
think
is now owned by Microsoft. Remember, so
huh?
they're not. There's not going to be a PlayStation.
Yeah. I don't know what Chris keeps saying
Yeah.
PlayStation, and I'm not sure
I'm
why.
sorry,
But
it's a reference.
but I think we'll get this game maybe in 2026. I think 11
When
years in between, and then we get a Fallout New Vegas something in between, and then I think 3 years after that we'll get the new Fallout game.
do you think we'll get a Fallout Vegas remake or something between now and
Yeah, it'll be
2026?
the bridge, it'll be that bridge, and then we'll get what you call it.
Because that
So what
in
about
talks, it would be a smart thing because like people are gonna be hungry for Fallout, and it's like they're gonna be like, okay, let's give a filler, and then we can keep working on this game.
what about Elder Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls? If we follow their timeline, which is normal,
Nobody wants to play that
like
garbage.
5 years. Wait, so between Oblivion and Skyrim was 5 years. So I will say I'm going to add another. So it's been 10 years already. Elder Scrolls has to. And I feel like they're going to give us a shock drop. I feel like Elder Scrolls comes out within the next 2 or 3 years.
And they're prepping it for the anniversaries and what everything that they can put it on and do all that stuff again.
It feels like it makes sense to me because like if there's no way that there's no way that Starfield was being made and like at least somewhere to where they couldn't pick up like the next Elder Scrolls and be like, okay, we're gonna make it. So I don't think it'll be, I think 2023. So I'm gonna say maybe I'll push back. What did you? I said 20. I think Fallout will be 2026 7. Okay, and then we'll get Elder Scrolls within the next 2 or 3.
So according to you, Bethesda's up to some shenanigans, and they're
I
going to
think
pull
so.
pull the
Like
rug
I
on
said,
us.
I think it's the Todd Howard
think so.
factor of like it comes
I
out
think so.
like I think he wants to do that announcement.
I wouldn't, but honestly, I wouldn't give out those dates anyway. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point because the thing is, you're going to, and I think we'll talk about this later. I mean, I just feel like giving out release dates is a bad move anyway.
Yeah.
Because why even say anything? Just be like, listen, it's going to come out when it comes out because we already know we're going to criticize it if they give us a release date and it doesn't come out. I rather them just say the game's not ready. We're not sure if it's going to come out at the end of 2023. I know you want to give people anticipation, but realistically, some of these games are going to be bought anyway. And I feel like you do more damage when you just say, hey, it's going to come out this year and we're going to delay it, opposed to going, we're attempting for it to come out in 2023, but realistically, it might not. So just be prepared for this year. And if they did that, I feel like people would be like, oh man, but oh well, like I'm ready for it to come out. So
Yeah,
I think release dates is just does more harm than good.
I agree with Alan because it provokes. I mean, like we saw whenever they delayed Starfield that like they were getting death threats and everything, and then that provokes also crunch. Like, even though the whole community is like, we're against crunch and all this other stuff, but then a game doesn't come out and they're like, what the hell? And then they're like pushing it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's coming from all places. So I agree with that one. They shouldn't say a word. I like the surprise factor of like, I mean, Nintendo's been doing it this whole time, and
I mean,
everybody's
Fallout
and
4
Nintendo
did it.
fans are okay with it. They're just like, we get a random direct and we're like, hey, you get all these games next month. They're ready to go. Here you go, and then you keep going.
So here's a counter to both of those arguments. Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, which is a public company, and investors, shareholders want to know what's
Well,
coming, and
yeah,
that's
I
where a
get
lot of
that.
these games get leaked.
Yeah.
And so Bethesda has to say at least a quarter, financial
But
quarter
yeah,
is going
that's
to be
what I'm
released for
saying.
the
That you
year.
you could say we're trying to make this come out in 20, and then
But
the
people are still
investors
going to
from
be pissed if they say, oh, Elder Scrolls 6, Q3 2027,
listen,
and it
Like, it's
doesn't
better than
happen.
a specific date.
I
yes,
mean, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
but
For sure.
listen, the investors will be just fine. Okay, they're going to still make money. It's the money's still going to be made whenever it needs to be made. It's just it's just going to be shuffled around. I just think, like I said, I think you get a lot of people upset, and then you get a lot of people with this bad rep on your game that doesn't need to be there. Because like I'm never been, I don't mind delays. I think delays, especially if you're doing it for a good reason to benefit your game, I think it's a good thing. I think we all have backlogs, including the people who complain, have backlog of games that they haven't played because an Epic Game Store or Steam Store has a big sale. I just got 5 games. And I I already have a bunch of games I haven't played. So as I've grown, I've realized that delays are not a big deal unless it's a delay that the game just doesn't come out fixed. But I mean, has Bethesda usually comes out with a little bit of jank at the beginning anyway, but we still love those games and they last like 10 years. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even though they're buggy.
yeah.
Speaking of buggy games, let's go ahead and go over to Starfield thoughts. Uh, you, Alan, just keep it going here.
Mhm.
First of all, give us your thoughts about um, what you thought about what they showed us, the 15 minutes of gameplay, which I didn't realize it was 15 minutes because I felt like it went like this, like quick
Yeah.
as hell. But apparently it was 15 minutes. So
Mhm.
what did you think? What are you excited about it?
I'm excited. Like I said, Bethesda hasn't failed me. Even though like Fallout 4 wasn't like my favorite, I still really enjoyed the time I had with it. I guess because I was one of the people who I feel like I didn't over hype, like I guess not overhype. I got exactly what I thought I was gonna get from. I don't remember what show it was, but I said it on one of our episodes that I feel like it's just gonna be a like Fallout mixed with Outer Worlds, and it's just gonna be a game where we're in space because that's what Bethesda knows. And at the end of the day, I mean, as much as we love all of their games, essentially that's what they do, right? They like Fallout and Elder Scrolls are very similar games. The only difference is where one is fantasy and one is real time, like like regular guns or whatever the case may be. So why would you? I personally wouldn't have like go away from something that you're good at making. What we like about Bethesda games, especially those two, is we like the stories. We like to fall in love with whoever the companions are because usually that becomes people's one of people's favorite characters. The way that you explore the NPCs, the missions, and things like that. So I didn't expect it to be anything different from what they normally give us. So for me, I'm excited about it because I do want to build my ship. I'm excited to do that. I want to, I'm probably not going to do that whole like building places because I'm just personally not a fan of it. So I hope that that's not like a major part of the game. But you're going to have 1,000 planets to do that on. Now, am I against the 1,000 planets? I am because I feel like you set yourself up for what people are going to think those 1,000 planets are compared to what you're going to give them. And I know Yendi and I, like, we talked about this in our chat, but essentially, like, when you give, even when we did our live reaction, I said that I feel like 1,000 is just way too much because you're setting yourself up for worlds that are going to be the same because there's no way that you could generate 1,000 different planets that are without having the same kind of terrain or mood or setting or whatever. So I think I would have preferred if they would have like said, "Hey, let's get 20 solid planets and be okay with that," because even with those, it's not like you're going to travel all of those 20 planets, because I know I haven't even traveled everything in Outer Worlds. And there's not even that many planets in Outer Worlds, and I haven't been on all of them. So I feel like the 1,000 is very ambitious. I think it might hurt them in the long run unless they if they use this as something to build on, right? I feel like if you have the 1,000 planets and then you start going, well, this, DLC or this update or this add-on adds like a civilization to this planet or something like that, then I think it'd be really cool, because then you can make that game just last as long as you want it to. Which, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these Bethesda's games, that's naturally what they do. They just last way longer than we think they're going to. And I think that would be a cool idea. I just don't see how you can plan out having all of these games that we were just talking about, as far as Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and then still try to be like, hey, here's this team to continue with all the Starfield stuff. So I hope that they haven't bit off more than they can chew. But it is a very ambitious project, but I'm excited for it. I think they're going to be good. I think we'll have our rough patches when it first comes out. I do agree with that, what Yendi's saying there. I do think we're going to have some bugs, but again, it's Bethesda. Those bugs become memes. We laugh about them later on in the game. We actually tend to like go search out these bugs with Bethesda games. I feel like it's one of the few gaming companies where we don't get mad at their bugs, because it honestly just makes the game funny. So I think I got what I was expecting. And I think the building the ship. What I wasn't expecting was the space battles, which I'm excited is an exciting add-on for me.
What were you most impressed by and least impressed by?
I think I was most impressed by the space battles because it like a legit didn't expect us to. I thought it would be very much like Mass Effect, where you saw the or and Outer Worlds, where you saw the planets and then you just took your navigation and flew. But it seems like you get to fly to these places yourself, which adds a whole nother element to that game that again I was not anticipating. So I think that's a really cool feature. So I was really impressed by the fact that they were like, hey, this ship and you traveling the galaxy is something that you'll be able to do in this game. And I was impressed by that. I think my biggest the least thing I was impressed by um was the lack of HUD, which I think will get fixed later on. But it was very lackluster. Like I didn't know what that map was. I think you pointed out, Yendi, when we were watching it, like what the hell was that map? Like I couldn't read it. I didn't know where he was going or what he was doing. I thought it was weird that normally they have like the northeast, southwest like things in Bethesda games, and this game didn't have it. So I think we might have seen a really early build, because I felt like the HUD was really lackluster. I think that was the thing that I was least impressed about. Everything else though, I thought was pretty much what we were gonna get.
The fact on the hopes that that was a super early
Yeah.
build, because it didn't impress me. But um, do you think it looks or seems too similar to games like Fallout, No Man's Sky?
No, I don't think it feels similar. Like, I don't think that's going to be a bad thing. Like I said, I didn't go in the expectation expecting something different. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, because I knew that was the style that we're going to get, because their two most popular games are exact copies of each other, just set in different times. And this is going to be the third game that's just set into a different time. So, like I said, I feel like this game is going to be very Outer Worlds, very Fallout, and I'm okay with that, because it's going to bring its own companionships and all that stuff. And those type of games I'm here for, and that's what Bethesda does best. So if the best company that makes these kind of games is making that kind of game, then I'm okay with it, and I'm ready to play that game.
What about you, Chris? What do you think about the info, and are you excited about it, the game?
I am very excited. Real quick for Black Magic, I think it fixed itself. I don't know where it was coming from, but I think it's gone. So let us know. Thank you. But I'm very excited for that game. Um, I don't know. I'm getting more into the relaxing, I just want to explore in space and enjoy that on the side, like sit on the couch with my dog and stuff like that. Um, he said, "Yeah, it's gone. Thank you." Um, I it's hard to say. Like I enjoyed a lot of what they put out. The concept art. I from the start, though, whenever the ship was flying in, I did say it was janky, and then you guys are like, ah, no, it looks fine to me. I was like, I don't know, it looks a little off.
Yeah.
And then we discussed like maybe it's an very early alpha, which to me it kind of looks like it because that ship scene we've seen before with the like after we got the title screen of like this is our game, like a year later we got that scene of the ship and the mech walking around. um the whole what is it called, the concept art that I saw is what I'm banking on. I really enjoyed. I like underground cities. Like my favorite thing in Star Wars is the underground city of like all the criminals and stuff like that are there, and it just looks dope. It looks like it's all neon and all this other stuff. It's a small portion of cyberpunk, I guess you could say, and I really enjoy that. I think those areas are actually going to be very big. I hope the cities have more to offer. But from the concept art of those, yes, it looks good. As for the planets, I agree with you guys. Excuse me, that it's like the 1,000 planets is going to be way too much. Um, I don't think I'll be traveling out that far if I don't have to. I'll probably stick to like 15 planets or something like that and just kind of run around there. Um, unless like the game comes out and they're like, oh yeah, like there's gonna be all this loot out here and blah blah blah, and me and my space pirates can go take over. But yeah, other than
So
that,
let me read something on that Todd Howard said. Um, this is Video Games Chronicle. This is from Todd Howard. While Howard told IGN that Starfield includes more handmade content than previous Bethesda games, it also has 1,000 planets to explore, which will offer procedurally generated content. Quote, we're also careful to let you know that that's what the procedural content is, he said. So if you look at space, there are a lot of ice balls in space. So that was one of our big design considerations on this game. Like, what's fun about an ice ball? And it's okay sometimes if ice balls aren't. It is what it is. We'd rather have them say yes to you. Hey, you can land on this. Here are the resources. You can survey it, and then you can land and spend 10 minutes there and be like, okay, now I'm going to leave and go back to other planets that has all of this other content on it, and I'm going to follow this quest line. So that pretty much, to me, that confirms that yes, as I say, it's procedure generated. So there might be a planet or a planet type. If there's 1,000 planets, there's probably gonna be planet types that only have certain resources or only have certain life. Which I think we only saw one or maybe two life forms. The one in the very beginning, but other than that, nothing else. But before I go any further, just go ahead and finish your thoughts. What were you most impressed by, and then least impressed by?
most impressed by the ship design. I thought that was very cool. I hope that you can design. I'm assuming you're going to be able to design the inside and walk around and stuff like that. Um, we did mention that we hope we can have multiple ships because I would totally love a cargo ship to go and find one of those planets. Like maybe we'll find a secret planet that just like holy crap, this planet is just nothing but iron, and I'm gonna be able to get all this stuff. So we'll be able to have moments like that. Least impressed by. I guess the gunfight, the gunplay of it. I was like, okay, but that's because I feel like they just didn't show enough. It didn't look. It just looked like a normal like. Oh, it looked like, hey, this game isn't really about the gunfight or anything like that. It's about adventure. So we're just gonna get you through this so you can have some sense of danger, and then get you out of there. That's what it kind of felt like to me. Um, as for the building of the civilizations, I think I'll pick a very nice place and set up a base camp And then I want to be able to, okay, say I do get bored and I decide to go out and travel the 1,000 planets and stuff like that. We don't know if your ship needs gas. We don't know, or fuel or anything like that. So we don't know what's going to happen there. So I feel like if I can get down a little hut of like, okay, I can build this space hut that has the least amount of materials, but I can put all my stuff in it and I'm able to survive, I'd probably put that on certain planets and keep going. So, but we'll see how that goes.
I bet you'll have what do they call it? A fleet ship that you can do that, store stuff on. But do you think it's too similar to like a mix of Fallout and No Man's Sky?
I think that's what it is. Is Fallout and No Man's Sky, and which that's what I wanted. I wanted a space Fallout. Like whenever, I mean, I know Alan said he said that in the beginning, but I remember seeing that first title screen, and I was like, Fallout in space would be dope, and I hope that's what we get. So, I also hope they're able to get some, like, I don't want to lose that comedic side. Bethesda has a funny side to them, so I hope we can find a random planet with like I don't know, like some guy sitting there and he's gone crazy and he's like, what are you doing on my planet? Like just completely out of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some crazy stuff. So
I just don't think this game is going to vary from what they're good at. And I think we're still all gonna show the Bethesda love and care that all their other games do. I just don't see why this game wouldn't do that because it's made by that company.
And I'm hoping that they show more on the space front of it. Like I want to be able to board somebody else's ship and take their stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. What?
You see this? Come on, man.
What?
So as for myself,
they're trying to live their best life out there.
Yeah.
What if I don't play Space Pirate? I want to get on a Space Pirate ship and steal their stuff.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think you're gonna have to play Star Citizen to do that. You can do that in that game.
Yeah.
But anyways, as for me, what did I think about the new info? I'm glad that we got 15 minutes because we got a really good look at what this game actually is. Was I excited about it? I was excited to receive the info. I don't think I came out of it excited to play the game, but I'm holding those expectations and just waiting to actually get my hands on it before, completely just, saying no to it. But it is always nice to have more info on it because before this, you guys know I was hyped. I was posting as many things as I could find on our group chat. The music, I love the music. That's one thing that it has going for it. It reminded me a lot of Outer Worlds and Fallout, and I think both were done by the same guy. As far as being most impressed, I would say, shit. I don't think there was anything that really stood out to me that much. I guess the big city, the new Atlantis that they showed, was kind of nice. Yeah, maybe something else will come to mind later, but nothing that really like oh shit, that's pretty cool. And then least impressed, I also agree with what Chris said. The gunplay looked off. It looked like the guns had no personality, no recoil, no. I don't know, and it looked very janky. Everything looked janky to me, which is why I'm hoping that this was a super early build. That they were planning to show us a while back, probably, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna go ahead and add this to the 15-minute." I think the biggest reason why I'm sort of disappointed in this right now is because I feel like I already played this game with Fallout and No Man's Sky. I played a lot of No Man's Sky. I think it's my most played game on Steam, and instant No Man's Sky vibe. The gunfight, the having pirates and all that, and ship battles. I'm like, it's cool, but I feel like I already did it, and it gets really boring after a while. You kill a pirate, you get their stuff, and you go on to the next one. Sometimes it gets really annoying. They'll just come out of nowhere and fucking annoy the shit out of you, and then you're like, oh, this bullshit. We have yet to see if you can actually go pick any spot on the planet to land, or if there are predetermined spots where you can see like an overview of the planet itself, and then highlight a spot to land
Like
in,
Outer
and
Worlds.
then
Outer Worlds did
and
the
then
same thing.
cutscene, you're there.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of sad if that was the case. I want to be able to land wherever, like in No Man's Sky. Um, but I feel like that is how it's gonna be. It's gonna be you pick a spot because they'll be handcrafted. I don't think they're gonna make it a whole entire planet. I really don't, but I could be wrong.
I mean,
And
when you
then,
do 1,000, I don't think you can do.
well,
You have to land.
if they do handcrafted planets, if they do a few, but I guess that would literally be like a whole Skyrim map or, something of that size. They can make a whole planet. No, maybe not. Maybe they can't.
It's a lot.
So I think it'll just be like zones on the handcrafted planets, and then the procedural ones is just random shit. I wish they would have stayed away from having so many planets and instead focus on like five where each of them had a nice, very distinct either area or biome, and it all related to the story. I feel like having thousands of planets is just filler to spend time, but it did just come out that the storyline is about 30 to 40 hours, which is, I think, 20%, 20% more than Skyrim and Fallout before. I don't know, man. I was very excited. I'm less excited now, but still kind of excited. And I feel like I know what this game is going to be already by what we saw. I'm hoping. Another big thing that I really didn't like was the visuals. Everything was so bland. There was barely any color, and that's something that I like to see. I don't like the whole underground darkness, horror kind of vibe to it. I like the tropical paradise, relaxing. I didn't get that from that.
In a space adventure? No.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but hey, listen, there's 1,000
mean,
planets. One planet's going to be there for you, Yendi.
I'm
Yeah.
banking. I'm banking on that fact, and that'll be the planet that I make my home planet.
I kind of
and
hope.
then
I kind of hope. Well, it probably won't happen because I don't think it can happen. But I land on
Realistically,
planet
yeah.
like 6, 7, 8 or something like that, and I send it to Yendi. I'm like, "Yo, this is the planet," and he goes, and it's the same thing.
well, here's the thing. It'll be different for both
Yeah,
of us.
exactly. Yeah.
So unless we can do multiplayer, which doesn't seem that's the case, it looks like this is strictly single player. And then speaking on the whole base thing, I think when we do make our base, we will be able to have multiple ships. They'll have like landing pads you make for them, and you can take whatever you want, come back, drop your resources off, do whatever you got to do, and then there'll be a market system where you can buy and sell stuff that you find, like No Man's Sky. I could be completely off, and maybe this will be like one of the best space stories out there. But even that seems kind of generic. You go find alien artifacts out in space and try to figure out what it is and who put it there. And stuff. It kind of sounds like Halo, in a way, if you think about it. But we'll see. Cautiously optimistic, which I feel like I've been for everything now, and I guess
Good
it's
thing
just
is you get to play it for free because you already
that
have
is
Game
true. That is so true.
Yeah, I had to remind
So-
him. He's like, "Oh, I'm definitely not gonna
I
pre-order
know.
this one." I was like, "You don't
I
have to."
still, it still blows my mind that that's a thing. But yeah, I guess that's one of the pluses of this. Is, even if it is shit, it's okay because I when I paid for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more, but I'm holding back any more judgment until I get my hands on it because I could be completely wrong and it'll be one of my favorite games ever. Who knows? As you guys, I think I've told you guys many times, I'm looking for that game that scratches that survival itch, that adventuring thing. Or maybe that's shit. That just reminded me. Maybe that's the Indiana Jones game that they're also making. Actually, Machine Games is making, but published by Bethesda.
Are
I'm
you-
surprised we didn't see anything about that.
They have a lot of games, bro. They're
I know,
coming out
right?
with a lot of
I know.
That's just true.
Yep. Hopefully we see a lot more exciting stuff, newer builds. I'm hoping. If this game's been in development for 7 years, I'm scared if it doesn't look better next time we see it because technically it was not impressed personally. Yeah. Do you guys have any other thoughts on Starfield?
I would say what game has Bethesda come out with that you haven't been like, okay, I'm good with the way that this game came out with. Like, I wanted to know, like, not saying like, obviously blindly trust Bethesda, but I just feel like Bethesda hasn't failed us in a way that where we like anyone has like strongly disliked a game. Do you feel that way with has Bethesda come out with a game that made you feel that way?
76.
Besides
No, I
76.
haven't played 76. You know what? To be honest, I think Oblivion was that game for me because it was such a drastic setting change for me to like from a crazy alien kind of world from Morrowind to a generic European kind of
That
setting.
game was hard for me, hard
Oblivion
and
was
scary because
Oblivion?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
afraid of it, man. Going through the portals, and I was like, but you have to go through the portals. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
play this. So
Oblivion was great.
I finished it. I played it because I'm an Elder Scrolls fan, but I think the drastic change in scenery was like, this is not what I expected or wanted. Um, I don't think it's fair to say it was a bad game. I don't.
It was.
The horse armor DLC was bullshit though.
It just came after your favorite game.
Yes, that's true, which
See,
affects
which
that.
is
And
how.
then
Yeah, that's the
I
same
was
thing I feel about Avatar.
slightly
I'll move on.
turned off by Skyrim at first, because it felt like even more generic. It was more, it felt more wild. Oblivion felt very tamed, right? Very, very basic. It's like, come on, you could have done better than this. Like, you could have picked any other time or, but you picked basic ass European castles and shit like that. But, I'm trying to think of what other.
Any of the Fallouts.
I've tried 3 Fallouts. One I finished, but then they're all. I thought the same thing about all of them is they were just janky as fuck. like, like this is terrible. I liked 4. Story was okay. It could have been better. 3, I just couldn't do it because I got into it too late. And then New Vegas, same thing. But
I was just curious.
Maybe Starfield will be that one, or Elder Scrolls 6. I'll probably overlook any faults as Elder Scrolls 6 has, to be honest. Just because I'm very excited for it. I'm more excited about that than any other thing that's come out or about to come out. So high expectations there. But I think I personally have gotten tougher skin when it comes to these games that just end up in disappointment. Like I know when to expect. Now I know, like reel it back. Lower your expectations so you don't get hurt later. So I think that's something that comes with time. I'm
now
finally
you're living
there.
the real life. You're living there with me now. You see, you get the game for
I've
free.
been there. I've been there, but I'm I used to be this naive person like, oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. I'm gonna pre-order it. And no, I'm not doing that again. I learned my lesson with Battlefield 2042.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they had a 10-hour trial, which is probably their biggest mistake.
No. Do you mean their best? That was the best thing they did.
Yeah, for them it was the worst thing they did because so many people got to try that broken mess, so they're like, "Oh shit, I'm not spending $60 or $120 on this."
Yeah.
So yeah, Chris, any thoughts on Starfield? Anything else you want to say? Excited for?
No, I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think it's gonna be great.
We should start a doc on the LPF drive with predictions so we can look back at it later. I don't know why we didn't think about that.
Let's do it right now. Starfield be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it for the next. Yeah.
Who's making it? You making it? I'm making it. Let me make it.
Well, yeah. Just jot it down real quick. We'll make it nice later.
LPF predictions. LPF predictions.
Are we doing a score system prediction?
Just we'll say the game and then what we think about it. What we think it'll be like
at launch.
Sure, at launch.
Because you brought up that point of like you think it's gonna launch. You think the launch will be a little rough, but
I'm confident it'll be rough.
I mean, what game isn't rough at launch?
There's some who aren't. I think Apex is a pretty good one at launch.
Apex, no one knew what was coming out.
Yeah,
so there was no expectation set to it.
It doesn't matter. It played well.
You're right. Let's talk about games that have expectations that come out with no issues. The only one I can think off the top of my head is God of War because it's the best game ever.
Titanfall 2.
Well,
Okay,
Titanfall 2
so
is well, like I said, the
Starfield
best
here.
game ever created too. So
Question: Will the launch
no, the launch will definitely be janky. There's no question.
be
I have no
good
question.
or bad? Technically, Alan.
Technically, yes, of course it will be.
Yes. Of course, it will be. Chris.
I'll be the odd
Well,
man out and say I'm saying
clean launch.
You saying what?
Okay, so this is where it depends because everything has bugs. So what kind of are we thinking? Bethesda bugs, or are we thinking like this game does not work right now?
Like cyberpunk bugs, like where you
Ooh.
can't play the
Unplayable?
game.
Oh
No,
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 it's
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
do
no,
that.
no, no, no. I think it's gonna be
No.
fine. I think it'll have Bethesda fun bugs, but I think it'll be fine at
It
launch.
ain't gonna be no cyberpunk bug.
Fine.
God.
I'm T-posing on the top of my ship. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, listen, with all how as bad as that launch of that game was, I still think what it is now is it is a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. I beat that game.
It's sitting.
And I
It's
had a
sitting
good
on my
time.
PlayStation 5 menu.
I
have
had a
not
good time
tried-
with that game.
I have not tried the PlayStation 5 version.
My prediction is that it'll be unplayable at launch for at least the first week.
Unplayable. Holy crap. Hey Todd, I know you're watching.
Listen,
That's his
I
opinion.
do not. Yeah, I do not stand with Yendi's.
So if you want to send LPF just 2 codes for early
Yeah.
access, that's fine. I understand.
That's fine.
What other question regarding Starfield?
I think
Oh,
that I think that's it for right now. We'll, like I said, we'll spice it up later as we go on. We still have till spring for this game.
I
Till
mean, the more we wait, the more info we get. So it's kind of like we're changing our answers here. That's what it's not really a prediction if we get more info and we know more.
I mean, you could,
Will the launch be good or bad technically? You said Alan said yes, of course it will be. Chris said it will be fine, but we'll have Bethesda style fun bugs. And I said it will be unplayable at launch for at least the first week. Question 2. Let's see. Starfield.
surprises? That
What
we don't know
surprises
yet.
we'll have?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
What surprises?
I think there's a slim chance that there is some kind of multiplayer. Slim.
not happening. 0% chance.
Like
Chance of multiplayer.
like No Man's Sky of like, oh yeah, you're online, but you're rarely gonna see that other person.
That's changed quite a bit, by the way.
You run
Alan?
into people all the time now, don't you?
It's often.
Oh, okay.
A surprise. The surprise will be that more it won't be as the planets won't be as dead as we think. That'd be a surprise.
Very broad thing.
Also,
You
picture
gotta
this,
say-
right? So
Plus, that's also subjective. Like, what's dead to me might not be dead to somebody else.
but
Okay, surprise. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I think the surprise is that we saw Mars, right? I think we see Earth. Wait, did it say Earth is destroyed? First things first. Is Earth
It
gone?
didn't.
No, I
No.
think we see Earth.
You got to see Earth in that.
But we're
in that
not on
preview.
Earth.
No.
Okay.
But you got
I
to
think we
see
can
it,
go to
though.
Earth, right? And
you
we
definitely
see
can go to Earth.
a Fallout town.
That leads into my surprise. It
What?
will be a connected universe,
Ooh,
and we
Yeah.
will see elements of Fallout.
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Well, I'm sure that we'll see like a paper of like Earth resorted to using bottle caps as currency.
It just depends on what time frame, though. Too, I think it will be Fallout. Like it'll be in that universe, but it won't be the timeline of Fallout. So
my specific prediction is it will be a connected universe, and we will see Fallout references.
Okay, but the references. Do you think it's going to be like pre Fallout though?
Post, because this is this is beyond the Fallout.
What
time
year
frame.
is this?
23, 30, 23.
There's
30.
no way the Earth looks the way that we saw in that picture, and it was Fallout.
Fallout happened what was the year? 2020 something, right?
So you're saying they prospered from Fallout?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying Earth prospered and became back to normal.
Yeah.
Or it could be a
And we get
wasteland.
It can't be a
no.
wasteland. Not with the way that we saw the Earth.
It doesn't matter. My prediction is that we'll see Fallout references, not
like what's
that
that
we'll see
city?
Earth.
What was that city called in 3? The first one that you go to, Emerald? No.
Yeah, Emerald City, Megatown or whatever.
What's Emerald City?
That is Fallout 4. That's the baseball
Yeah.
town, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, no, not that. So I'm thinking Fallout 3 that town actually becomes a legitimate town, and it's like it was built during this, and we find out it was Fallout 3 in all that stuff. I think
So your prediction is slim chance of multiplayer. Mine is that we'll see Fallout references.
And
then Alan, you don't have one? Okay.
No.
I am a little bitch. Just kidding. Okay, we'll continue to add to this doc. If you guys think of anything after the show,
I have a, and then we can put a no chance category.
like what?
I say there is no chance that this is Yendi's game of the year. It has no chance.
You want to do a wild prediction?
We could do that. Well, we'll talk about it after the show because we got to wrap this up.
Yes. All right. So that'll be it for episode 62 of the Last Place Fire Team show. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again next Tuesday.
You two, I hope. But for me,
I'll do it.
I get out at 7:30, so it'll unless we push
Perfect.
the show. Unless we push the show back, because it's gonna take me a little bit to get home.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
All right.
I don't know. Wait. I don't think I'm gonna be here. It's Ryan's birthday week. We might be doing something.
All right, Alan. Then I'll talk to you. Maybe we could push the show to 8:30.
So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys.
Oh, wait, before we go. hold
Wait,
on.
yeah.
So let me just make sure the year. So the separation from Fallout 4 and what I'm reading from Starfield, it is not that far off.
How
So
far?
you're for Fallout 4.
20 it's 2287.
22.
Fallout 4 is 22?
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
22.
Yeah, it
Bro, I
says
thought it was like
Fallout 4
2030,
is set
2040.
in and around the Boston area in 2287, 10 years after Fallout 3.
Damn.
And Starfield is reportedly, because we don't know, supposed to be 2310.
I keep my prediction. We'll see Fallout references.
I'm not saying we won't. I'm just saying
100 something years
yeah.
after. I mean, a lot could happen.
I just know
But
what
maybe
I saw in Fallout.
Earth.
Yeah, the way that I saw Fallout and the way that ecosystem looked, I don't know if that's
We'll go to
years.
We'll go to Earth to fight those what do you call it, the night.
You fly in and be like, hey, let's not
Deathclaws?
land. Let's not. Don't land. Don't land. Keep going.
Yeah. You just hover and be like, whoa, that's a Deathclaw, and then just go back.
No. Back out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for the show. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us. Till then, last